Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Surplus Nut here, bringing the last part on this review or project of my AK-47 going tactical. And I mean the last part because I was able to take this weapon out to the range and test it out for the first time. Even when I had the wood furnishing on it, I did not took it to the range. I mean, I had just bought it. I kind of like redid the wood, sanded it down, did some stain with Sonoma red, and then I topped it with some polyurethane on it. And then after that, I decided to go ahead and just go tactical with it. So in all that time till now, I've never taken out this AK to shoot out at the range. Now, one thing I did notice from the beginning that he had, I know that all the AKs coming out of the Century Arms International, they're coming out with the Tactical G2 trigger, and I did have an AK, a wasr 10, previous in before, and that one also had the Tactical G2 trigger, and I ended up selling that one to be able to save some money for that special custom built rifle, which I do have uploaded on YouTube, the bench rest gun that I have. So I sold that AK also without even having to fire it, just to get the money. And that was in the period of the Obama scares. Like you guys know, a few months back, a little bit after the elections, everything went scarce as far as all black rifles, all AKs, everything went off the shelf. You couldn't find anything anywhere. No assault rifles, as they call them. And another thing is, around here in Miami, I mean, if you will find an AK-47 at a gun shop, they will sell them to like about, maybe they will go for like $700, $800. Believe it or not, a wasr 1063 will go close to $900. At a gun show, you might be lucky and find it for like $600, $700 bucks. So I went ahead and sold that first wasr 1060. It was just a wasr 10 AK-47. This one is a GP. I think that's what it says here. Yeah, GP. Wasr 10/63. 75. Yeah, I think that's what it says. Let me see. No, not 75. The year's a 1965. I'm sorry, not 75. A 1975, 65. And 1965 was the year that it was built. So the other one that I had was just a wasr 10. So I think these are a little better. And for that reason, I don't know if all G2 triggers are the same way or not, you know, as far as the poundage of trigger pull. But this one I mean, even though I didn't shoot the other one, I will, you know, rock the bolt, and by pulling on it real slight, I was able to more or less, you know, tell the pressure that I had on the trigger. And this one is much lighter. Now those are the only two AKs that I've only tried, except a couple of them on the gun shows or like that, when I went to look for this one. And I did notice that this one has a very, very, very light trigger. Now I don't know if the great groups that you guys are gonna see in this video, to close this series of videos on my AK-47 going tactical, but this trigger is extremely, extremely light. And I can tell you guys, because the bolt action rifles that I have, again, I have videos uploaded on YouTube on them, a couple of tactical rifles, my bench rest rifle. That thing is, the trigger set at, it's got a jewel trigger set at 2 ounces, so I can't compare it to that. But to my bolt actions rifles, this thing is so light that I think the way this weapon grouped at the range, I can guarantee you it had to be because of that. There were times that I would just barely pull on it thinking that I had a little bit more to go, and it would go off. Okay, now I'm not gonna do a safety check on this gun. Please don't leave me a comment like in the past some guys have done, and you guys have seen me do all the videos that I've done in this series or project of my AK going tactical. I've never checked it. I'm not stupid, okay? And let's not be so etiquette. Oh, well, you know, the mag is empty, you know, the bolt's empty. Dude, if I'm gonna sit here and do a video, okay, if you're smart, okay, and you know you're gonna make sure before you start running out on your minutes, wasting minutes on a video and time, that before you get set up here like I am on my table with my gun on here, I'm gonna make sure this clip is totally empty. I'm gonna rock this bolt a bunch of times back, make sure that my chamber's empty. Once I know that the weapon's completely empty, I'm gonna squeeze the trigger and everything's fine and dandy. I'm gonna set my table, set my stuff, and do my video and not waste my valuable minutes, okay, on a safety check. This is for all you safety check guys, okay? But anyways, so going back to the trigger, I think this thing, it's extremely light, and I'm so happy for it because I know I ended up with a wasr 10 that has a very, very light tactical G2 trigger. This thing, I mean, I'm gonna take it to my gunsmith just so I could borrow that trigger gauge he's got to test the poundage on the trigger because it's extremely light. So that's one of the things that I think where I mainly got excellent groups for a wasr 10 63, and also the muzzle brake, which I'm going to talk about that. Now I'm talking about the trigger. I'm going to be talking about the muzzle brake if I have time in this video. The AK 74 style muzzle brake, unreal guys. Okay, this gun, it came standard with the stock slanted cut muzzle brake, which is what you get from Century. One time I went and I started reading reviews on it, and that brake, believe it or not, is really good. Okay, it eliminates muzzle rise, and it's a pretty good brake that can handle recoil real good and minimizes it. But I just wanted to go with the AK-74 style one. It makes the gun look a little better, really nice. And I think the outcome was unreal. This gun will not rise up and go crazy on this bipod that I have. By the way, this is like a real cheap bipod. It's a plastic one, but it worked really nice. I don't like to have nothing mounted on the barrel permanently. Like, I know there's some bipods out there that this guy comes with like this clamp with 4 Allen key screws that hugs and ties down your barrel. Remember, on any weapon, you don't want to have nothing really permanent on your barrel, especially when you're shooting it, because when you shoot it and you have your resonance and your vibration on your barrel, that will affect your accuracy. So this thing doesn't completely permanently hug the barrel, and it doesn't tighten squeeze on the barrel. It's just like a little plastic, I think it's called a ram plastic bipod. It's real cheap. It's got like a little spring. It's spring loaded up here, and then when you close it, it's got like this little notch that it stays closed. It's real cheap and it does the job. Let me tell you, it will not. I was able to group pretty good with this thing. I was thinking on getting the broomstick. They have an airsoft. It's called, I think it's called the Silverback. That's the name of it. Silverback Total Bipod, which is really nice. It's got the little indentation on one side in case you want to put one of those pressure relief thing, like for your light, or that comes with a little cord. Or if not, you don't have to use that. But you can also have. It also has the option that you can split it open, and it splits like a bipod, and then you slide each little leg on each side, and it's got notches with numbers on it. It's really nice. Check it out on YouTube. They have a couple of reviews on it. But it is designed for an airsoft gun. But the way it mounts down here on the rail, it's got like this little pin that locks it, and then it also comes with like pretty nice little Allen key screws that it seems to hold on the rail pretty good. And if this one did the job, which is just like a real cheap clamp-on thing on the barrel, which is not really affecting my accuracy because it's plastic, it doesn't have a lot of pressure when it clamps on there. It's just basically to hold the weapon. I think that one, that even though it's for an airsoft gun or whatever, designed for that, it goes, you can put it right here on the rail. It's pretty long. I'm thinking it might not affect when you remove the magazine, but it's something that, to be honest with you, my AK, and don't think I left out the thing of the muzzle brake. I'm gonna go back to that. I really like the look of this AK with the UTG quad rail, the way it looks completely solid down here with the rail covers. And I was thinking, well, maybe I gotta take one of the rail covers and put the broomstick and always leave it there. And I don't know, I just leave me a comment and what you guys think. I've seen some AKs with it on there. They even have the little stubby one, real small. That one doesn't turn into a bipod, but it's just like a little stubby little broomstick on the bottom. And it's real short, I guess, because they want to give you space for you to be able to remove your magazine. But I just don't like the look of the AKs with whatever handguard you might have and the little stick coming out of it. It just doesn't, it doesn't click with me. So I was thinking, you know what, maybe I'll get the little silverback broomstick, and when I go to the range, since I need a bipod to shoot from the table, I'll just probably take the real cover guard off and put it on there and just, you know, use my bipod, do it, and then come home and take it off. But I'm not gonna be with this taking off and putting on, taking off, putting on stuff. And without this bipod, like I'm saying, this is my home defense gun, and I like the way, you know, it feels and it looks just by the way it is. So I usually have it close by my bed or somewhere where I'm usually gonna be hanging out at. And so I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with a broomstick or not. So right now, the going back to the muzzle brake, also I think a combination of those AK, we're back over so you guys can see it, the AK 74 style muzzle brake, it did a great job. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop it for now, and we're gonna come back and do another part to this on this final part of my AK-47 project going tactical, final results at the range. Catch you guys in a little bit.